Since Venezuela became one country with, some say, two presidents, the would-be president for the opposition, Juan Guaido, has seen a surge of support from abroad, but at home, little in the way of actual change. Now, he's pushing for a breakthrough.
¡Viva Venezuela!
There were opposition protests across the country today, the biggest in Caracas, where Guaido focused on his effort to bring in humanitarian aid. That aid remains stuck on the Colombian side of the border.
¡Leales siempre!
Now, across the border, at this bridge, already closed over a long, simmering political dispute, Venezuelan soldiers staged a demonstration of their own, determined to let nothing cross it. The country's vice president called Guaido's aid contaminated and carcinogenic.
Es cancerígena.
Quote, almost a biological weapon. Well, it's certainly a political weapon, and as events today make clear, Guaido is going to keep using it. At his rally here today, there was no sign Guaido and his supporters are letting up or changing course. Pressure is rising and patience is worn out. It was at the last minute when the precise time and place for this day's protests in Venezuela were announced. But no matter, the biggest crowds, those in the opposition, ready to go anywhere. Students leading the way because this is Venezuela Youth Day, and this caps a month of protests. At each one, the pressure on Nicolas Maduro has been building. The feel of the crowds more confident. So yes, there's energy here, there's enthusiasm, there's solidarity, there may even be momentum, but what's far from clear is whether any of this is enough to oust a leader who just does not want to go. Among people who were maybe afraid to speak their mind not long ago, the comfort and cover of a crowd on the move.
I'm sure that we are gonna get out of all this situation. All the humanity help is going to come in.
So how do you get out of this? What makes Venezuela get out of this?
By raising my voice, by supporting my effort, the efforts of my people.
So it's Venezuelans, it's not the outside world.
Exactly, it must be an effort made by us, Venezuelans.
A few meters on, another view entirely. This woman stopped us to say the man you just heard was wrong.
But I really think that we need intervention, international intervention.
What is that?
Foreign intervention.
Is that American troops coming here?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. You know why? Because this man, he won't leave the country if they don't help us to take him out.
Perspective is everything. From the heights, this looks endless, but it's not. At the western end of the city, another world, the pro-Maduro rally. Smaller, but serious, and ever more convinced he should not be leaving. Our country has the ability to solve our problems by ourselves, this woman said. So it's not necessary for anyone to come here, because we're fine. And some in Venezuela are fine, legitimately fine. Those with means are fine. But they're the minority, as were the Maduro crowds. Back in the city's east, the volume rose, with Juan Guaido happily riding into the crush. To the stage to tally and thank the countries supporting him, to talk of ambassadors being appointed, and then to throw red meat to a lion, to announce he's promising more waves of humanitarian aid are coming to Venezuela's borders, regardless of what Nicolas Maduro says. He believes there's only one crossing, Guaido says. We say that we're going to offer another serving if you don't like the soup, and there will be a third and a fourth. Those words sound good to people in need, and he's declared February 23rd will be the day the aid comes in. But he can't promise that now. Between now and then, he has to convince the military to side with him on this point, not Maduro. Those reins are not yet loosened, and frustrations are building. This just a brief spasm of fury at the end of the rally, people raging at a thief who'd been caught stealing in the crowd. Just a flash in time, but it may say something bigger too. Maybe that people are tired of theft in Venezuela, theft of their health, their wealth, and potential. It's also a bit striking how the anti-Maduro graffiti seems to have spread in recent weeks. There was a time when you would only find it in select areas. Now it appears to be cropping up just about everywhere, and the question is, just how far will the government let this go?